Caught in the crossfire. One anecdote, 4 words we all seem to know, and 20 seemingly harmless, small letters arranged to express the feeling of an innocent party stuck in a conflict of which they're not a part. We all know the feeling, privy to an argument that's just not yours to have, victim to the age-old, so who do you think's right? It's hard, unpleasant, and often has no clean-cut way out. Fire back and you'll hit someone, step away and you make a statement in and of itself. You know, generationally we've been caught in the crossfire, not responsible for causing the climate catastrophe that we've been left to manage. No, that was the baby boomers, but responsible for making sure our kids get a chance to live. That's us. They say there's no time like the present, right? Shaped by the past and undeniably responsible for the future. Talk about being caught in the crossfire. You know, when you search caught in the crossfire, you find articles like teenage girl caught Myanmar protest crossfire, fights for life. Health department caught between Facebook and news giants. Mother and kids caught in crossfire at deadly truck stop shooting. And personally, my favourite, the Me Too movement and abusers. Normal men caught in crossfire? See, here's where this phrase gets interesting when you do a little further reading. The first headline about Myanmar, not caught in the crossfire, that girl was shot by police, deliberately assumed to be a protester, shot because she was young. The health department was never caught between Facebook and the media. They were a deliberate target chosen by the media monopoly and serial election meddler to send the Morrison government a message on where their business lies. The mother and 2 young children accidentally caught in the crossfire, shot by one man, a member of 6 hate groups, seeking out people of her and her kids' race to murder. And need I explain the last headline? Is it not hard for normal men to be caught between the Me Too movement and abusers when one of those things is a civil rights campaign fighting for the liberation of women and the other thing is, statistically speaking, a synonym for normal men? Caught between yourself and accountability does not sound so caught in the crossfire to me. Click on any of those articles and you quickly find not one person involved was caught in the crossfire. And even if they were, it seems ludicrous upon further thought that we focus on those accidentally caught up, rather than the cold-blooded perpetrators. These articles focus not on the murders, monopolies, militaries who deliberately cause pain and suffering, but focus instead on those who had nothing to do with their misfortune. You see, the thing that the line caught in the crossfire gets wrong is that it removes all mentions of the not-so-innocent parties. It chooses to focus not on those waging war, damaging enough to drag others in, but rather on the party who has nothing to do with any of it. In doing so, the phrase provides a get-out-of-jail-free card for those who are calling the shots. Our now seemingly not-so-innocent 20 letters, 4 words, and single anecdote removes all notion of choice, humanity, and decision from everything horrible that happens to someone innocent, stopping only one step short of victim blaming. It asks not why the trigger was pulled, not by whom they were shot, but why they stood there in the middle. Caught in the crossfire removes every skerrick of responsibility, replacing it instead with pacificity, submission, and a phrase which says, oh, poor you. Unlucky, I guess. But we have no return, no reciprocal. We have no phrase that says instead to those the innocent was caught between, have you tried not shooting people? It's said we live in an age of accountability, but perhaps our vernacular still needs some time to catch up. Those of us entering this year's Ray Green Prize were asked, what does caught in the crossfire mean? And I ask instead, what does it not mean? As a counter, I say, rather than the age of accountability we live perhaps at its dawn, the saying caught in the crossfire is endemic not to an age of responsibility and mass conscientiousness, but endemic to an age where we still look at victims, those shot in the leg, and we say, what were you doing in a place where that could happen? We may be waking up, but we will not see the error in our ways if we still frame our consciousness around the victim and not the assailant. We say someday it will be different. And I say there are 7 days in a week and someday is not one of them. Change must begin now. Crossfire in the literal sense refers to gunfire from 2 directions passing through the same area. This notion of being caught in the crossfire is an abuser's tool to move the spotlight from their own actions and to channel our collective attention to the misfortune of someone else. It looks not at the smoking gun they hold, not at the matching bullet in the victim's leg, but at the donations pouring in, the thoughts and prayers, the kind-hearted community, and the good-willed volunteers. Upon first thought, it may be heartwarming to consider that we focus on the positive, but this very focus prevents us from interrogating the negative. So next time you're told a person was caught in the crossfire, Don't ask why that person was there. Ask why someone still chose to pull the trigger. Thank you. I'm Riley Curtin.